Hey everyone, welcome to today's watch review. We're going to be taking a look at this Breitling Superocean Heritage 57 that I have on loan from Saltzman's Watches. Saltzman's is an authorized dealer for Breitling. They're on the east coast of the United States in Rhode Island. I want to thank Richard for sending this in, and guys, links to his store and his website are in the description of this video. Now let's talk about this. This is from the capsule collection. I'll put the dimensions, the reference number, the retail price here on the screen, some of the information for you guys so you can compare it to other watches in your own rotation and in the market that this sits in. But you know what? I've been looking forward to seeing this watch since Breitling announced it. I thought it looked really interesting. And it was a bold move for them, not for the fact that it is very retro inspired. It is paying tribute to their original dive watch, the original Superocean from 1957. But there already is a heritage-inspired Superocean in their lineup, one that I've owned. I own the Superocean Heritage II 44 millimeter. So I have some experience with a cousin or relation to this new release from Breitling. And so I thought it was interesting that they're adding a more diminutive, more faithful interpretation, modern interpretation of the original dive watch to the collection. And I'm glad that they did so. Now, this is very different from the Superocean Heritage II. That one is more of a professional diver. You could take that scuba diving. It does have a screw down crown, the water resistance. It has the ISO 6425 compliance that you would want in a professional diver. This one, on the other hand, is more of a daily driver that could, take some use in water, limited use in water. This has 100 meters of water resistance, a push-pull crown, and a bidirectional sliding bezel that carries the sloped ceramic insert. So one that I would be comfortable, taking in the shower, washing under the tap, getting caught in the rain, maybe taking fishing or boating one day, provided you have it on a NATO strap or a rubber strap or the really cool fitted mesh option from the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer. This one I'm showing you comes on the contrast stitched leather with the polished signed Breitling deployant and the leather backing. It's very comfortable, it's sleek, it looks nice, but this is not a professional diver. I think if you want something that you could dive with, maybe you air dive, I would opt for the Superocean Heritage II as opposed to the Heritage 57, if that makes sense. This one really is just celebrating that original diver from Breitling, and I don't think should be used in more strenuous situations, sports situations, if that makes sense. Now let's talk about the detail work here. We're going to talk about the good. We'll talk about the not so good, so we can give just a really objective look at this new release, because I think there's some great things here and there's also some disappointing things here. So under the macro lens, you guys can see a clean execution of a slightly reflective black dial here. The printing is nice. We've got the applied B logo. I think overall the look is very clean. I like the dramatic slender applied markers. And I think they really help this watch be more diminutive on the wrist than the dimensions would indicate. Part of that is just the visual look and layout of this perfectly symmetrical dial. Now, I do have to mention, I'm a bit disappointed in the finish of the hour hand. You can see some imperfections on that polished handset. You can see some dust and particulates here and there. And I'm a little disappointed because most Breitlings that I put under the loop look very sharp, very clean, especially the Superocean Heritage II that I owned last year. That one was very clean, very nice macro. This one is a bit disappointing, and it's something that I do want to bring up and bring to your attention. Now let's do the lume shot here. This is Superluminova C3, nice execution, the hands, the markers, the bezel pip. It's potent, it's long lasting. I have no problems with the luminescence. Now let's go to the fit. I'm gonna let you guys know I have 7.25 inch wrists, And if you, I don't know, I'll say if you like a larger wearing watch, if you like a heftier, weightier, taller watch, I don't think you'll really enjoy the way this Heritage 57 fits, because this, again, is deceptively diminutive in person. The dimensions would indicate this is a 42 millimeter diameter watch. And certainly that's the case for the coin edge bezel with the nice sloping ceramic insert. I think the look is very bold, very dynamic, very sharp. But you'll notice the bezel really protrudes from the case beneath. The case diameter, not including the bezel on top, is 38 millimeters. The lug-to-lug is almost 46, and it's nice and trim. So this one definitely wears smaller, which I think those of you with smaller wrists or smaller sport watch preferences, I think you'll really like the way this wears and fits. So let me show it to you next to my 40 millimeter Rolex Submariner. This is a pretty well-known design here, so you guys can see visually how it matches up and how dominant the bezel is. That really is one of the design highlights here, and I think it's cool. Now, I believe the bezel protruding from the case is one of the reasons why Breitling went for a push-pull crown as opposed to a screw-down crown, because the crown already is a little difficult to wind in its resting position just because the bezel comes out so far. But I like the fact that it's signed. I think the action is nice. There's only one position, so you pull it out to the first position, that hacks the balance, and you can set the time. The positions are clean. The action of the bezel is smooth, the bi-directional sliding action. This is a very well dialed in Breitling caliber 10, which is essentially a 2892A2, a no date variation, so this does not have the ghost position for the date. 25 joules, 42 hours of power reserve, 28,800 vibrations per hour, and again, it is a certified chronometer, accurate to plus 6 to minus 4 seconds per day, but you know, you're gonna get much tighter than that on a day-to-day basis, you know, in multiple positions on your wrist. The case back is rather sterile, it's polished. I think it's simple, it's appropriate for a vintage-inspired watch. I like the quality of the leather. Breitling does some very nice straps, whether you're getting a mesh, whether you're getting the leather or the rubber. And the pliant, I found the positions to be great. I don't need a micro adjustment here for the spacing of the holes. I like the finish of the milled center folding portion. So this really does feel its quality and its going rate. The negative elements for me would be the finishing on the dial on a macro level. That's a bit disappointing. And the fact that it doesn't have the screw down crown. It is more of a sport watch in name only. I mean, again, like I mentioned, I wouldn't have any problems washing this under the tap, using it in the shower, taking it to the lake, taking it fishing, but I would not, I would not scuba dive with this. I would not snorkel with this. I probably wouldn't do lap swimming at the pool with this watch, but I do like the vintage element. I do like the design details. I do enjoy the cambered sapphire crystal here that carries the great anti-reflective treatment that Breitling does so very well with the blue sheen, the clarity, the crispness. I think this is certainly a very fun watch, and I'm glad that Breitling added it to the Superocean line. I think it does set itself a little bit apart from the Superocean Heritage II. It certainly is more vintage inspired, more diminutive. And so I think even if you love the Superocean, you could probably own both in your collection and really not feel like you're getting overlap, because they definitely present a different feel on wrist, if that makes sense. So guys, thanks for tuning in today. Let me know if I missed something. I do make mistakes in some videos, so please excuse me. Please reach out with any questions. Please reach out to Richard if you're shopping, if you want to get a quote. Excellent customer service. I can definitely recommend Saltzman's watches as a place to purchase your Breitling. So guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.